Welcome, everyone. Today, we embark on a journey through one of the most fascinating and hotly debated relics in the history of Christianity, the Shroud of Turin. This ancient piece of cloth has captivated believers and skeptics alike, and today we'll explore its significance, the evidence surrounding it, and why many believe it could be the ultimate proof of Jesus' resurrection. The Shroud of Turin is a length of linen cloth measuring about 14 feet long and 3.5 feet wide. It bears a faint, mysterious image of a man who appears to have suffered crucifixion wounds. This image is unique and has perplexed scientists, historians, and theologians for centuries. The first historical record of the shroud dates back to 1354 in France, but many believe its origins are much older. Today, it is housed in the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Turin, Italy. Let's delve into the details of this remarkable artifact. The image on the shroud shows the front and back of a man, with wounds that are consistent with the biblical accounts of Jesus' crucifixion. There are marks on the wrists and feet where nails would have been driven, scourge marks on the back, and a wound in the side, all corresponding to the descriptions found in the Gospels. In 1898, an Italian photographer named Secondo Pia took the first photographs of the shroud and made a startling discovery. When he developed the photos, he realized that the image on the shroud was a photographic negative. This means that the light and dark areas are reversed, much like a photographic negative film. This discovery has puzzled scientists and has led many to believe that the image was not created by any known artistic method. Over the years, the shroud has undergone extensive scientific examination. One of the most controversial studies was the radiocarbon dating performed in 1988, which suggested that the shroud was from the Middle Ages, around 1206 to 1390 AD. However, this dating has been heavily disputed. Critics argue that the sample tested may have come from a medieval repair or was contaminated. Subsequent research, including studies of the fabric and the image itself, suggests the shroud could be much older. There are several pieces of evidence that support the shroud's authenticity. One of the most compelling is the analysis of pollen found on the shroud. Botanist Max Fry identified pollen grains from plants that only grow in the Middle East, specifically around Jerusalem. This suggests that the shroud had been in that region at some point in its history. Another significant piece of evidence is the blood stains found on the shroud. Forensic tests have identified the blood as type AB, which is relatively rare but is also found on other relics associated with Jesus, such as the sudarium of Oviedo, a cloth believed to have covered Jesus' face after his death. The blood stains correspond precisely with the wounds described in the crucifixion accounts, adding another layer of credibility to the shroud's authenticity. The formation of the image itself is another fascinating topic. Numerous theories have been proposed, but none have fully explained how the image was created. Some scientists suggest that the image was formed by a burst of radiant energy, which could be consistent with the resurrection event described in the Gospels. This ties in with the account in Matthew 28, 2-3, which describes a great earthquake and an angel whose appearance was like lightning, a vivid image of divine power. From a biblical perspective, the shroud aligns remarkably well with the gospel accounts of Jesus' burial. John 19:40 says, "Taking Jesus' body, the two of them wrapped it with the spices in strips of linen." This was in accordance with Jewish burial customs. Similarly, Matthew 27:59 notes, "Joseph took the body, wrapped it in a clean linen cloth." These verses indicate that Jesus' body was wrapped in linen, just as the Shroud of Turin depicts. There is also a possible reference to the shroud in 2 Corinthians 4:6. "For God who said, 'Let light shine out of darkness,' made his light shine in our hearts to give us the light of the knowledge of God's glory displayed in the face of Christ." This verse poetically reflects the idea of divine light and could be seen as metaphorically describing the radiant image on the shroud. Despite these compelling pieces of evidence, the shroud remains a subject of intense debate. Skeptics argue that it could be a medieval forgery, citing the radiocarbon dating and artistic techniques from that period. They also point out that there are historical gaps in the shroud's documented history, leaving room for doubt. However, for many believers, the Shroud of Turin is more than just an ancient artifact. It is a tangible connection to Jesus' suffering and resurrection, a profound symbol of faith. The shroud's unique properties, such as the detailed and anatomically accurate image, the presence of Middle Eastern pollen and the type AB blood, make a compelling case for its authenticity. These elements, combined with the inability of modern science to fully explain how the image was formed, suggest something extraordinary. In theological terms, the shroud serves as a powerful reminder of the resurrection. It embodies the hope and promise of new life that Jesus' resurrection represents for Christians. As it says in 1 Corinthians 15:20-22, "But Christ has indeed been raised from the dead, the first fruits of those who have fallen asleep. For since death came through a man, the resurrection of the dead comes also through a man. For as in Adam all die, so in Christ all will be made alive." Thank you for joining me on this journey into the mystery of the Shroud of Turin. I encourage you to explore this topic further, to reflect on its significance, and to share your thoughts. If you found this video enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into faith, history, and the mysteries of our world. May your faith be strengthened and your hearts uplifted as we continue to seek the truth together. God bless.